Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal and it helps support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers 36 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Today, we're playing some Historic, and I've decided we're playing ElfBall. It was between this and Big Elves. Big Elves essentially is just a kind of like the mono-green stompy style deck, but focusing a little bit more on the Elf side. I figured ElfBall is more of a glass cannon, and I like to play glass cannons because, alright, that's not entirely true, but I don't like elves overall. And if I'm gonna play elves, I'm gonna make it so it's like a stupid version of elves where I can just get wins out of nowhere. And that's essentially what we did. So I did 2 practice games with this deck, one of which was against Mardu something. I don't know exactly what it was. Lifegain, maybe? I don't know. But they killed my Marwyn the turn before I was going to be able to cast the End-Raze Forerunners and murder them. Well, technically I have Finale of Devastation. I didn't have this in hand. And then against Mono Black, they didn't have an ability to kill my stuff. So they died via End-Raze Forerunners. They were at 13 and they died. And they had 4 blockers. So that said, this is just a ElfBall deck. The numbers might be wrong in some places, but this is just what I've come to. We only run 20 lands, 16 forests, 4 Castle Garenbrig. I don't really see a reason to run any other lands, frankly. 4 Llanowar Elves. We really want to be able to go from turn 1 into turn 3. Excuse me. With Leyline of Abundance, we can actually go turn 1 into a potential turn 4, which is stupid. Oh, turn 4 also, for what it's worth, it means potentially 2 drops. We have a bunch of elves that produce mana, so we have Druid of the Cowl, Incubation Druid, and Paradise Druid. Fantastic with Leyline, but you don't need them with Leyline. They're just there to add to your mana count so that you can do stupid things like use Leyline of Abundance, Nissa, Finale of Devastation, things like that. Then, of course, we have Elvish Visionary, which allows us to draw a little bit through our deck, just in case we do end up spewing our hand onto the board. It technically helps get back into it. That said, board wipes mean you lose. This is a glass cannon. If you lose 1 creature, that's fine. If you lose half your creatures, that's probably fine. If you get board wiped, you should concede and move on to the next one. That's just the style of deck this is. Elvish Visionary helps if some of your things die. Then, of course, we have our Lord-type things. We have Elvish Clancaller, just buffs all of our Lords, and can grab another one of herself. And then Imperious Perfect is really awesome because she's a Lord, and she allows you to make more of your Elves. And these are Elves that can block and attack because of the fact that they don't produce mana, so we don't need them for their mana. Sometimes we need cards for their mana. Marwyn is not necessarily a Lord, but I don't put her in the same category as the other mana creatures, and that's because she scales ridiculously. She makes mana equal to her power, and it's not just the number of 1/1 counters that get put on her when an elf enters the battlefield. It is her power, period. So if you have 2 Lords out, an Imperious Perfect and an Elvish Clancaller, let's say you played Marwyn first, and then those 2, right? She has 2 counters, plus the bonus 2 from each of the Lords, plus her innate 1, she's tapping for 5, even though she only has 2 counters on her. So Marwyn really is your linchpin in the deck. Yes, I'm only running 3, but it's because she's legendary, and duplicates of her are not the best to have, because once you've kind of... I'm going to not use the terminology I was going to use. Once you have played your elves onto the board, feel free to guess what verb I was going to use instead. Once you have played your elves onto the board, your next follow-up Marwyns aren't as good. And that's kind of similar to like Scavenging Ooze style decks. So the first one's great, the second one is not nearly as great. So that's why we're only playing 3. We also have Beast Whisperer, kind of similar to Elvish Visionary, where maybe we don't have our big payoff cards yet. We don't have those cards in hand. So we have Beast Whisperer to let us continue to get a little bit more card advantage down while we're making our board, so that if we have Beast Whisperer and our board gets wiped, if we have a full hand and an okay like mana base going on, we can probably stay in that case. 2 Leylines, fantastic. If they start in play. Otherwise, they're not the best, but what I do like about having the Leylines is that it's an alternate win condition, because you can essentially just end of your opponent's turn, tap all your creatures, get buff AF, and then eventually you'll be able to just tap Marwyn to pay for this, and the rest of your board gets buff, and you swing with those. So I do like Leyline of Abundance. It's possible that I should trim numbers somewhere, and I should be running 4 ley lines. I don't know. 3 Nissas Who Shakes the World. She's just, like, good and stuff. She makes more creatures for you. She adds a bunch of mana for you to use Leyline or Finale or whatever. So she's Nissa, right? Then, of course, we have the Finale of Devastation End-Raze Forerunners cards. End-Raze Forerunners... Finale of Devastation can get the End-Raze. They don't have to, but typically that's what you're going to grab. If you really need to, you can just grab another Lord, and that could by itself win you the game. But often what you're going to try and do is get up to 10. This costs 8. So X for 8 is okay, because this does get trample. But the reason getting this to 10 is better is because then your creatures are going to get big, and all of the creatures that just entered have haste, so it's nice. But it's mostly just extra copies of End-Raze Forerunners, which essentially just wins you the game. It's a Craterhoof behemoth, except in Historic. Castle Garenbrig, sure, you can use it for things. I had this in the sideboard because at some point I was like, maybe I'll make this best of 3, and I was like, nah, fuck that. This is a true glass cannon. This deck is actually a lot worse in a best of 3 context because of the fact that no matter what you're doing, if you're bringing in cards against your opponent's deck, like by definition, you're going to be decreasing the burst potential from yours. So here we have Llanowar Elf. I don't love this, and the reason I don't love it is because we have both of our Forerunners in hand. Which does mean our finales are slightly worse, and we don't really go into anything large from our Llanowar Elf. But we do have Visionary. This is a difficult one. I don't think I'm going to mulligan this, but this could be a game that we lose pretty easily. What's really nice is that if they bolt the bird, it's not going to matter all that much. Our opponent on some sort of... Oh, they're on zombies. Alright. Reasonable. So I think here I'm just going to Clancaller and go on the Elf Lord beatdown. The go wide plan. Let's see what they do here. If they just add to the board, or if they kill something of mine. They did nothing. So they might just be doing that. I want to see if I can get another land. Damn. I will just play another Llanowar Elf, though. I'm just going to pass. No reason to attack with my Clancaller. I assume they're just going to use Cryptbreaker here. Yeah. Let's see what they discard. I feel like I was saying something about the deck. Oh, right. So sideboarding makes your deck weaker, but also it just makes your opponent's deck better against what you're trying to do, which is just burst them down. So I really think that if you're going to play a deck like this, at least on Arena, you know, there are ElfBall decks in other formats, but at least on Arena, I think that the tools that we would be able to get are worse than the tools that our opponent are going to be able to bring in on us. Yeah. I don't think my opponent's going to have a board wipe unless it's Witches. If they have Witches Vengeance, I'm kind of just fucked. I could attack with my Elvish Visionary, but I feel like they just block with Midnight Reaper anyway. Although... Tap. So, they might just... They're going to tap this, I think, anyway. Let's Let's see, next turn. Marwyn's on 2. I can cast a Clancaller, which would put her up to 4. I could cast an Incubation Druid and adapt. No, I wouldn't be able to adapt. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. If I got a land, I'd be able to play Incubation Druid and adapt, and then the following turn I can End-Raze Forerunners, which means I would rather have more creatures in play. Yeah. This could be incorrect. They're obviously going to draw here with Cryptbreaker. If they have a board wipe that doesn't hit their zombies but hits my board, then we're fucked. If they have a board wipe anyway, we're still probably fucked. Routing Regisaur, don't care yet. Attack me, coward. You'll only kill a man. Do it, coward. No blocks. I don't need a block. I don't care. Let's draw land so I can play and use this. Armor Knight, sure. Sweet. So we're definitely on the go wide Forerunner plan. The thing is, we need Marwyn to survive in order to go with the I can't also just use Elvish Clancaller. If I play this, that'll get bigger. Yeah. Oh, I didn't need the land. I'm smart. I don't need to use it yet. Oh shit, I can still use this. So I'm probably not going to do that, actually. I'm probably just going to use the Clancaller. Okay, so as long as my opponent doesn't kill Marwyn, they should be dead on this next turn. That's a discard. Discard that, sure. I feel like this is not what you want in that deck. Oh, Ketra. Alright, yeah, my opponent still should be dead. Because I'm going to go get an Elvish Clancaller. I assume they're going to attack with something. But if it doesn't kill me, I'm not going to block. Yeah, I'm taking 7. I do not care about being at 11, because you're going to be dead. I think I could even have just blocked and killed that. It would be... Well, I'm not sure. This doesn't give haste, right? No. Is this lethal? Okay, how much toughness do they have? I know math is for blockers, I just want to make sure. I have 1, 7, 9, 10, 12 toughness. They have 12 toughness, and I will have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, they're dead. Math for blockers. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, I'm 1 off. I'm 1 off from being able to activate Elvish Clancaller. Curses. If only I'd drawn a land. I mean, I can also just activate this, right? Yeah. So if it wasn't lethal before, it should be now. With that 3 extra dabblage. Oh, it was plenty lethal. And that's ElfBall. If your opponents don't do anything to your board, you just kill them before they can kill you. It's as simple as that. I felt like it was a risky keep. If my opponent had any interaction, I feel like I would have been fuckled. Or excuse me, furkled. But they didn't, so I wasn't. Buttatello? It's not Buttatello, is it? Either way, it's weird. This is a greed keep. This is a fucking greed keep. I have one forest, but I have Leyline of Abundance, so I can technically go forest into a Marwyn. I'm gonna greed keep it, knowing that if my opponent's playing control of any kind, I'm fucked. All right, what are you playing, baby? White, okay. All right, we're going against mono white aggro or mono white Lifegain. We also drew the lands, so we have access to 4 mana this turn, this coming up turn, but we can't really use it. No, we can't really use it, unfortunately. They play a Pride Mate, that's fine. They should attack with a Vanguard because I wouldn't block, but they choose not to. That's fine with me. So now Marwyn, and next turn, how off can I go? It's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this I can only get 4 mana next turn if I play both of these. Tribunal, no. I'm surprised that that's what they take. I feel like Marwyn is stronger. If I play Nissa, my Incubation Druid will have to block and die to protect Nissa, but I think I'm okay with that. I'm also going to smork them in the face. I guess I could have not attacked with the forest. Oh wait, no, I had to tap it anyway, so. My Druid's going to die. That's fine. Yep.
I will endure.
I won't be able to finale, will I?
Behold, nature's true power.
I don't think I can X equals 10. No. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm 1 off? Are you serious? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can finale for 9, but it would tap all of my stuff. Shoot. I guess them hitting the Conclave really does suck. Let's see if they focus Nissa down. They choose not to attack. Fair. Okay, they still can't use Resplendent Angel. They have one card left in hand. I can make a chump blocker with Imperious Perfect. And the rest of my board can block their board relatively well. So I can chump the Pride Mate, my Nissa won't die.
Let us talk of peace.
What do they have? Orator, that's fine. That shouldn't have been 5 life, right?
Harness the elements.
I believe it's correct to just use her. Because this will be maximal efficiency. Let's see if that's enough to kill him. They only had one piece of interaction, and I don't think that's enough. I have no non-creature lands. ElfBall, baby. Get fucking elved. Oh, get totally fucking elved. By the way, if you want, you can totally friend me. I accept them all. Cause I'm a fucking madman, as you could probably tell by this ElfBall shit. Oh, glass cannon. I mean, I'm waiting for the Grixis control, the Esper control, the Jeskai control, right? I'm waiting for a control deck that is going to kill one of my elves, kill another one of my elves, and I just lose because of that. This is a glass cannon. It's only showing the cannon part right now. Sprung Kraken. I'm sprung. How'd you get me? Got me doing things I never do. If you ain't been, I'm telling you, you do. Turn 1 elf, turn 2 elf? Elf? Uh-oh. Here it is, baby. This is the game that I'm sure I'm gonna get board wiped or some shit. Go ahead and break them off with a little preview of the remix. Am I going to attack with my 1/1 elf? I could be going against Flash. Am I fine trading my elf for a brine boy? There's no way this is Flash. Yeah. I want to get the random damage in. It might end up mattering. Although I have no idea what my opponent is playing. Are we just going to like elf beatdown? This might be absorb. And then I just smork in? Is that what I do? Oh my gosh, that resolves? I feel like, honestly, I think I'm just going to start making shit with perfect. What's happening? I'm not going to play another creature. Because I make a thing with Imperious Perfect and I win. So my opponent has to blow up the world. Yeah. I do not like that, Sam I am. I think I'll be sad and play a Marwyn first because it can lead to bigger and better things next turn. Obviously, they have an additional removal spell for my Marwyn. It's not as good. Bounce does suck.
Let's slow this down.
I need one more lands.
Like it.
I can Marwyn plus Druid. That is not one more land, unfortunately. I do still think it's correct to Marwyn here. But this is the time when the cannon might break. Maybe I could have been one more aggressive.
Making this up as I go.
I'm going to attack first. Or at least threaten to attack. I lose 1 damage, technically, but if my opponent decides to board wipe here, using their instant speed shenanigans, then I'll at least be able to have something else up. Now the question is, do I attack Teferi or face? Since they're at 9, I'm pretty sure it's correct to just attack face. Okay. I'm relatively certain this means that they have a board wipe, which means I think I would rather lose the Incubation Druid than any of these, because these have power and toughness. And I assume I'm going to get board wipes. Alright, never mind. For what it's worth, this is presenting lethal. So I guess technically there's an argument to be made to do that. Here they bounce Marwyn, I guess.
I won't hide from the world. I've got time.
No, they'll have 5 mana for another bounce, or for another board wipe, so sure. That does just mean I'm going to attack them first. Yeah, before I do anything else, I can cast this? Well, like there's no way they don't have something, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. And unfortunately, I think this is when it becomes glass. Let's put this down, and let's just go with the Druid of the Cowl. But yeah, pretty sure this is the fail. The fail case is when you just barely can't kill your opponent. They've stabilized. I doubt my opponent has no counter spells. We don't have enough mana in the deck to just cast End-Raze Forerunners like easily. You know, they're starting to get their planeswalkers all in a row and shit. So if this is a board wipe, we're out. We're out. There's pretty much nothing we can do at that point. For what it's worth, that's the main reason I don't like playing glass cannons, because it's a lot less about the plays that you make. You know, it's the decisions aren't really up to you. It really is your opponent playing mass removal? If yes, you lose. If no, you're probably going to destroy them. Yeah, so that's the deck. I think it's pretty interesting. I would say if you have the pieces, give it a try, because it's totally fun when it works. But don't say I didn't warn you. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Anyway, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Zin, for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you can find the links to that down in the description, as well as a bunch of other cool links in the description. Excuse me. Goodness me, I just burped. My apologies. Another way to support the channel is by joining the channel membership thing. It's simple. You just stay on YouTube. Just press that join button. Become a channel member. Honestly, though, the best way to support the show is literally just by liking, commenting, subscribing, watching, ringing the bell, because apparently that's a fucking thing now. YouTube, why do you do this to your creators? I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, all will be one.